I'm gonna keep it 100. At you guys' age, I started going to juvenile hall, right? I went in and out of juvenile hall till I went to California Youth Authority. And my first day in California Youth Authority, I went there an hour and 3 guys tried to kill me. They put me in a coma for 30 days, and I almost lost my life. I lost my memory. I lost everything. I grew up in the streets of Oakland, and I had a lot of attention. We didn't have great programs like this, Kicking It, when we was kids, but we had a lot of negative activity that somehow excited me. I was sitting in the classroom couldn't keep my attention, so I started evolving out like a lot of these people here said. I'm going to tell you something really, really sad that is hard for me when I come to schools like this. I had to walk outside because I got really emotional here because I had a son. Okay, so what did I say I did as a kid at you guys' age? Okay, I went in and out of juvenile hall. I got shot in the streets of Oakland. I got involved in gangs while I was in the prison. I belonged to a gang called the Black Guerrilla Family. So let me explain some things to you guys that happened. I have a son who was born when I got out of Youth Authority. The feds, the federal department, they gave me 17 years. So I went into maximum security penitentiary as a young man. And when I came out, my son was in high school. So when I come to schools like this, it makes me really emotional because I never walked my son to school. I never came to my son's school to pick him up. I never got to be blessed like these parents back here to see their kids involved in things in school. But I chose a lifestyle that unfortunately for a lot of you guys is real available. I wish I had some graphs that Willie had up here that showed that, okay, the football players, 1 million sign up and 1 might make it. Because I'm going to tell you something, in the game that I play in the street life, 1 million sign up and all of you make it. You'll all make it to the penitentiary if you act like that. You will all, if you start following this line of trouble, they got a place for you. And then the cold part about it is, there is some real foul behavior happening in the city of Oakland right now. We know what I'm talking about. So now, and it's hitting the younger and younger schools. We are working with kids. If you guys know, I just worked with a kid who was 13 years old who just killed a 14-year-old. And they're gang-involved youth right here in the city of Oakland. And guess who these kids look like? They look just like you. Guess where they live? Right where you live. And you guys know what I'm talking about. It's easy to step out to the streets of Oakland and get in trouble. So let me ask you a question if I can. With this story about this young man making the choice to hang out with his friends after school, sometimes it's hard. I'm going to share a story with you and then start closing out. I'm blessed to work with a lot of the gangs in Alameda County because of my past. I was working with this kid in Livermore. He got here, this is really sad. He was 16 years old. He was gang involved with the North Anglos. So he's a big white kid, and he's real athletic. He plays sports. He's really good. I went and saw him play. He's really, really good. But he's hanging out with some of the other kids that were in my group. I got to know this kid's mother, and the kid told me, me and him got really close, and he told me a story. He's like, kid, it's hard. Tell the truth, loved ones. Is it hard to break up with your friends? Is it hard to tell your friends, I can't do that, I'm scared? Is that hard? That's hard. Is it hard to tell your friends, even though you really don't want to do it, we still end up what? Sometimes doing it. What is that called, Peter? What? Okay, so watch what happens. Let's figure out what's hard and what's not hard. So this big kid was telling me that he went to a party with his other friends. What was the game? So he rides to the party with his other friends. They run up on some Serranios. So he see the Serranios, he take his window, roll it down, and he busts. Pop, 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 pop. And they take off. Woo, just some, hey, here we are. That's like just some warning shots. They didn't shoot level, they shot out. North Daniels, fool, what's up? And they shot out, right? So the Serranios came to the party the next week, but they leveled their weapons. They da-da-da-da-da and shot at him. So he came to my group. I do a group in Livermore every Wednesday. He said, kid, it's on, we funkin' for real. He lifted up his shirt, he had a pistol this long. And he said, we gotta get active with these fools, kid. I don't know what to do. At the same time, his mother called me saying, I just found some bullets in my son's room, I'm scared. He's getting crazy. So me and him sitting there talking, I'm talking to him just like this. I said, you know how hard this is. I said, I know how hard it is. You need to tell your friends to let it go, right? And you and your friend, I said, you need to back up. But he said, Kev, but it's what? It's hard. Say it's what? Hard. Kev, it's hard to tell my friends no. We gotta love each other, man. And I don't want to be called a sucker. He didn't want to be called all of that because he wanted to be accepted. So why? The next day, him and his friends was walking through. Loved one, you with me? Me and you. The next day, him and his friends was walking through a strip mall, a little shopping mall. And guess who showed up? And guess what? Got off. Pop, pop, pop. He started running. He real fat, athletic. He about 6'2". He running. Pop, pop, 2 clip him, and his 2 bullets hit him in his spine. What did his friends do? They did something. They his partners. What did they do? They what? Then his partners. Come on now. What did he? You know, these are the partners that he chose. What did his partners do? Nothing. These are his real partners. What did they do? They looked at him and ran. They jumped the fence. They got away. If it wasn't for a lady who saw him laying between some garbage cans and pulled over, she saved his life, called the ambulance. He is now paralyzed and here down in a wheelchair with a doo-doo bag. That's a bag that you no longer have action at your piss or in your shit, all right? So it go in this bag. Hey, what's funny about that? What's funny about that? Somebody laugh. Tell me what's funny about that. Now, he still go to the same school. His friends dropped out of the game, but they won't even look at him. Guess who pushed his wheelchair and changed his bag? His mama. Imagine that. You know the mother who kept saying, get out the game, please. So what do you think is harder? The decision he made to get shot, or do you think he should have made the decision to what? Which one do you think is harder? What? Everybody, hold on. Stand up and say what you said. What is it?
You need to back out against your friends and not be your friends anymore. Just not be in the game.
Let me tell you what you said and how smart you are. If you got some friends that's leading you astray, what did the word astray mean? Thank you. And if your path is football, doctors, I heard some beautiful things. I'm going to open up a car lot, all that beautiful stuff. If your friends is leading you astray, you can't blame him unless you say, look, family, look, loved one, I'm trying to be a football player. And doing drugs and getting in trouble after school don't seem to make it because these football coaches and this beautiful brother here going to tell you that ain't how it goes. So then you tell your friends, I'm not trying to lace my boots like that. I'm not trying to get down like that. And if your friends keep trying to lead you astray, is that your friend? No. I didn't hear you. Is that your friend? No. So then what should you do?
Walk away.
How is it still easy?
No.
But are you worth it?
Yes.
I think you guys worth it. I think you guys are worth it. I kind of have 2 emotions about doing this kind of work because when I get to speak to young youth like you guys, I'm really, really sad because of, like I said, of my past and my life. But I'll tell you something. You know my son I talked about? I'm going to tell you a story. See what you want to do. My son, when I was 21 years old, I was in a gang. And I was carrying weapons around and putting in work in a maximum security penitentiary called Leavenworth. Level 5, 6 penitentiary. I was the second youngest person in the level 6 penitentiary in the whole United States. My son joined the gang. But watch the gang my son joined. My son gang gave him a van. If my son breaks his fingernail, his gang will send him to the hospital to get it fixed. Now I'm in a gang too at my son's age. My son is in his 20s now. And he's in a gang. But the gang I was in was just giving us orders that was real scary and dangerous. But my son's gang, they gave him a what? A van. They gave him a uniform. Because you know, like he mentioned on the stage, gangs wear colors, right? So my son's gang gave him a uniform. They ain't tripping off colors. They got uniform. They got all this other kind. You guys probably seen my son's gang around. He worked for one of the biggest gangs in the world. It's called AT&T. It's the phone company.